What is up, everybody? Chris here with another impromptu live episode of How to Copy and Steal. Today I am with Angel Houseman of the Oi No Más podcast. You guys have met him before. He was on a podcast with me prior to when I was living in another place in the studio. I invited him over. Today we're going to do a tour of his studio for the Oi No Más podcast. And this one, I'm gonna treat it like MTV Cribs style. I don't know what I look like. I don't know if I'm zoomed in. I'm just holding both handles and praying that my camera. Let's get started and let's do this. Let's do this, my guy.
I was looking at the camera and you look great, Chris.
Did I? Yeah, look great.
So, welcome to Oi No Más podcast. My name is Angel Houseman. This is my humble little studio from the back of my home, the backyard of my home. So, for anybody out there that says that you guys can't make it, you guys can literally start from your living room. That's where I first started. Then we were using that one table right there.
You using that table?
Yeah, we were using that table when we first started. And then eventually I decided to create a dedicated studio so I can have like full focus and go full blast. And that's what we've been doing for the past 2 years.
So you built this whole thing from scratch, right? There's a story behind this. You did this?
Myself, my father-in-law, and one of my best friends, Chris.
Oh, shit.
So shout out to both of them. And ready, Chris? Not this Chris. Not this Chris. Chris
I'm
didn't
not
help
handsy,
me.
dog. I'm technical.
Welcome to Oi No Más podcast.
Hey. Ooh, look at got my man set me up. He got the projector all out here, all crispy. Look at this.
Yeah.
Where we start?
Let's set them up with a quick B-roll. That way they can kind of see everything. It's a small space. It's a very small space.
Cameras on the wall. We got the logo on the wall. We got artwork. We got freaking ambiance lighting here.
Yeah.
We got logos on the mics, which is a low-key power move. Everyone forgets to put, like, that's like free branding space that people don't take advantage of. It's like, why are you repping the brand of mic? Rep your show.
Exactly.
He's got his little workstation over here. Check this out. Wireless keyboard. Got the Samsung tablet here. He's got his A10 mini, which is my arch nemesis, but we'll let that slide.
I'll explain why I use that one. I'll explain why I use that one, even though Chris doesn't like that one. But I personally freaking love that.
It's the industry standard. I respect it.
I'll explain it. Also, I'll be giving prices on how much everything costs, and all of this is very affordable. Like, it's probably the cheapest equipment you can find on Amazon, but you guys can see the quality, and I'm pretty proud of the quality. What do you think, Chris?
It's dope, dog. You got the bokeh behind the back of you. You got everything looking crispy. You got 3 angles, wide and individual angles. Like, it's crispy.
Yep.
It's crispy.
And this is just pretty much the backdrop here. You guys can you can show them back there. They used to be a guest. I'm a big conspiracy guy, so we have ancient civilization.
Is that a specific pharaoh? Is that
not sure. I think you got me there, bro. Yeah.
A dream cat. That's a dream catcher, right? I'm not bugging.
So that it's supposedly that in the Mexican culture, I guess you can say, they're saying that it stops from people giving you bad eye. And somebody just sent me a message about a week ago, and they told me you need one of those eye figures behind you so you can repel all bad energy back to them. Okay. So I just got this last weekend at the swap meet. So.
And then my guy is over here manifesting out here his YouTube plaque, which that's going to be legit pretty damn soon. I see it maybe within, you could do a year.
Hopefully a year.
I was watching a video the other day about like how now more so than ever, more small channels are blowing up on YouTube. And it's because YouTube knows that brings business.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like, why just keep the ones on top? Like, we need more people here. So
they're trying to go with that TikTok algorithm, right? That before only the selected few would be coming onto your homepage, but as you can see, TikTok, you'll get a bunch of random different creators that will pop up into your feed. So I think YouTube is trying to replicate that same idea. So, and just a quick background here. I got these when I got sent out to the Philippines to work. So that was like an 18-hour flight and travel to the Philippines. Julio Cesar Chavez, that's one of the iconic boxers, the legend, Biggie Smalls. This here I keep because Chelo, my fiance's mom, gave us when we lost a baby through miscarriage.
Okay.
So this is very important to me. So it's just everything behind me has some sort of meaning.
You got the Game Boy? Is that your childhood Game Boy?
Childhood Game Boy.
Hey, with the GBA color.
And I don't know about you, Chris, but a lot of the things here in my dedicated studio, it's for the same purpose of like, I don't ever want to give up my inner child, right? That's what keeps me going. And I feel like that keeps me young inside, and just this is my space. I think other men like their garage as being their space. For me, this is my space. This is my place that I come and get to be creative.
Power tools. You talking about this shit makes money? It's power tools.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, you tell me, Chris, where do you want to start, man?
One, I would definitely like to see cameras on.
Okay.
But I mean, we can touch on this whole new thing later. But this is looking advanced. It's looking it's a live streaming setup. I see it over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, just start me like.
I'll start
cameras?
here.
Yeah.
I'll start here. So check this out. Before, I think when you first came onto the podcast, I used to have everything on the floor. This is a very, very small space.
Yeah, tripods. Yeah.
So this is, I think it's an 11 by 10 room.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very small space, just like a regular room size here in America. But everything was on the floor, cables was on the floor, and as Chris was showing you guys, now I have everything mounted against the wall.
Yeah.
One, to save space, and it just makes everything so much faster. Why? Because I have it pretty much angled already perfectly to my camera angle, which is here. This
one never changes. This is
that never changes.
You magically get taller or shorter in the day.
This is where I'll be like, welcome guys to Oi No Más podcast. Today we have this special guest, and usually it's just me and Teddy. Now we'll have a lot of different guests here.
Talking about Teddy, where Teddy at?
Yeah,
Teddy, you over here? You playing security guard, my guy?
Look at Teddy, that's
you
my
playing
boy
security
right
guard right now, my guy?
That's my son. That's my best friend. But yeah, so that angle never changes. And then we have this other camera here that it changes because due to if some people are shorter than or taller than others, so I just have to adjust it a little bit. But yeah, everything used to be on the floor. However, I kept this one because I was cleaning up and I forgot, but now that I see it, one of the key things, and I don't know if you're an advocate to this, Chris, but I'm a big advocate that stop putting excuses from getting started and use what you currently have to just get started. Eventually you can evolve to better quality, better equipment, but you have to get started by doing your reps, right? I think that's more important because you can have the best equipment ever, but if you're waiting for that perfect moment is never going to come. So start with the simplest things. This was a DJI. Well, it is a DJI Pocket 2, and we used to have this as a camera. So before, and we'll jump into why I love that equipment, the 18 Blackmagic ISO that Chris hates, I guess.
I don't hate it. It's just a lot of people like, I don't know. I'm a big proponent of live to tape production.
Yeah.
And I think people think that this is standard, and it is standard to get into the industry. But I feel like ATEM has like a hold on the market that you must use their equipment.
Right.
And it's just like the product that I use is a Blackmagic product.
Yeah.
Like it's part of them. It's just a chip that was designed in 2018 that gives me access to 4 cameras at 4K.
Right.
That limits you at 1080.
Yeah.
You get me? But like, it's I don't know. It's my own thing. And when I plug that into the computer, you only got one camera to work with. You got to like think a little differently. Whereas like with the other one, I can do it all a separate way. Damn, there was something on the tip of my tongue that I was just gonna ask. I totally forgot. But it's
okay.
right.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna come up. But before it, like I said, I was working with whatever I had. So my cameras turn off at 30 minutes. Well, they used to, and this is where I used to have these remote controls, and I would be switching off from one camera to the other.
Wait, so one episode would be like So you got 3 cameras. If an episode's like 2 hours, for instance, that's what, 3 times.
I would have like 6 different clips of cameras.
Damn, that's mad
and
work.
I would be syncing all of them together.
Jeez.
And then I would have black space in between.
Did you like do like the clap in the beginning to like sync up audio? Like how'd you sync? How'd you make it easy for yourself?
Since everything was enclosed, everything would kind of synchronize.
Okay. It was easy for you to do that.
But it was there was times where I would have no footage because of the lag and delay. And so I would have to choose the other camera angle to make sure to compensate.
You would go to the wide angle.
Right. So this is what I used to use before because the cameras were shut off at 30 minutes. Now,
you know why they did that at 30 minutes, right?
So
I told you.
Yeah, I think there was some sort of legal thing that if they kept it longer than 30 minutes, it was going to be considered a different type of camera.
Yeah, it would be considered a different type of camera that they would get taxed way more bringing it into the United States.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that the cameras couldn't record unlimited.
Yeah.
It's just these companies didn't want to pay the tax for like it being seen as like a Hollywood level camera.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Danny Flores. And this is the key thing about collaborating with people, right? Different creatives, just different people in general, right? Because you can always pick their brain and learn something new from anybody, even somebody down the street, right? Look at Chris. I had a podcast with him. He had me over on his podcast himself, and now we're here recording another piece of content. He's getting me started with this live stream, which we're gonna get into in a little bit. But the cool thing about doing this type of piece of content is you get to talk to other creatives. And shout out to Danny Flores. He told me about this piece of equipment, the Blackmagic ISO, which I always keep these on deck, man. My lips are always chapped. So what he told me, if I were to get this piece of equipment, it stops from my cameras stopping recording at 30 minutes. So this piece of equipment runs all my camera angles an hour, 2 hours. They don't stop, right?
And then on top of that, it does all your files in one little micro SD card,
right. So it keeps all of my camera angles as one file, and all it takes is one external hard drive, which I have here. And now I don't have to even worry about my cameras dying and any of that. And aside from that, I have I guess you can call it AI that edits all my camera angles. Whoever the guest or myself is speaking, AI will sync it and
what's it called? It's called
it's Autopod. So Autopod
will do up? Well, we need a promotion. We need a sponsorship. Autopod.
So Autopod will do that automatically. And the best way that you can describe it is something like Zoom. Whenever you're in a Zoom meeting, whoever's talking, the camera will focus on that person. Why? Because their audio is coming through. Same thing here. That Autopod equipment will focus on the person that's talking, or let's say if both guests are talking, the wide angle will focus on both people. Why? Because both people are talking. So shout out to Danny Flores once again that put me onto that game piece of equipment. It changed everything from 3 days of editing to like 40 minutes up to an hour of editing, and my podcast is completely done. However, Mr. Chris, if we do it the Chris way, there's no editing involved.
I mean, there is editing. It's just not from scratch.
Scratch.
It's like editing with like what I like to call it a reductive mindset, where it's just like, what did I not want to say? You get me? What moments where I want to take out, like, I had a pee break here. You get me?
Yeah.
But when it comes to all of like the stuff like overlays and things like that, then all that stuff is pretty much baked in. You're switching. But with my way, like, I will say with the current system that you have, it allows for you to produce an episode by yourself without needing Cello here to switch, even though you could. Like if Cello wanted to be here switching, she could be there with the A10 mini going from 1, 2, 3, and then you have that file where it's like, okay, it's already switched from me to the guest to the wide angle.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Technically, and I forget about that because I don't use it in that way. That's another thing too. I had a podcast with another guy here JD, and he says, "Oh well, my wife is the producer. She don't even do the clicking thing. She just makes sure that the camera angles are good."
Yeah.
Bro, you're just wasting her time, bro. You're just wasting her time. I hope you watch this, bro, because you're just wasting her time. Or I don't know if it's just an excuse for her to be there.
Yeah.
But you don't need somebody just to make sure that the cameras are there.
Yeah.
Like you just set your cameras down and you just let everything run on its own. Or do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I agree. Like you just let it. If it's like that, then have them be there for when they start, and then we're good.
Yeah.
I'll see if something goes black on the screen. Let's get on your thing. Hold on, real quick. I just want to check because I didn't do something. I'm going live right now, impromptu. I want to make sure that cool. Mics are still good.
Okay.
Mics are good.
I'm like, no, nothing recording.
No, we're live. I was just making sure that the mics were covered through.
Do you want me to do a demo on how I set everything up?
I'll sit down. Let me be in the seat, my G. This is what you will experience when you come to the Oi No Más podcast.
It's always weird seeing that angle when people sit down there because I'm like, man, they don't really have a nice view. But now that I'm setting everything up, it looks nicer now, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, so I have this. The reason why I have this monitor here, which was an old monitor that I wasn't even using, is so I can see all the cameras and making sure that everything is good in place. The reason why I was telling you right now that you don't need a person there. You can always have an external monitor to look at all the camera angles, which we're going to take a look at right now. And so have this one. Let's turn this one on.
What lens is this right now? I can tell that it's definitely a telephoto. You see that big bulbous front to it.
Yeah, I think 18 millimeter. I think it was like
85 mil.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a 50 mil. Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect 50 mil.
Yeah,
gets your background, and then on top of that, he has all this attention to detail. A lot of people forget about like the background and like the background in consideration when you're talking about like cutting up micro content, making sure that the vertical angle of you is interesting, has things that represents you, but also is branded so that when people see your podcast, when people see you, they know, oh, that's Oi No Más. You get me?
Yeah, exactly.
And he has that with the Egyptian thing, the plant, the blue light behind him. Is branded. Like you branded yourself visually. Yeah. On top of having a logo.
Thank you, brother. And
I forgot what I wanted to say earlier.
Go for it.
When you were talking about getting started with what you have, they call it's called GAS.
GAS?
Gear Acquisition Syndrome.
Okay.
So
I never heard about
people wait to get the right product or the right thing to get started.
Yeah.
But it's called GAS.
Oh, okay.
that's the new term for it.
And I think for some reason camera 2 is and I just got shot.
That's the universe telling you you're doing something right, my G.
So camera, that's my angle. This one, okay, no wonder.
I remember one time I was setting up a pod at my old spot, and it was for my buddy's channel, Zeke's World.
Yeah.
And I went and touched one of the cameras.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole place went dark for like half a second.
No way.
All my cameras turned on and off. Like,
bro, so is that normal?
I don't know.
Because
again, I told you when I was a kid, I fucked up and I stuck the butter knife in the toaster, everything went on vibrate mode.
I was gonna talk to my electrician friend. And I'm like, bro, I think there's like a freaking like something wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So
right. Where we at right here? Oh, my fat ass is in the way. All right.
So right there, as you can see, pretty much all the different camera angles are right there, and then you can switch off. That's my camera right there. There, that's
crispy. Because it's set in place.
That's yours. So I would have to fix it.
I'm over here.
And then this is a wide view angle right there. So with this switcher that Chris was mentioning that he dislikes, you can have this switching from one camera to the other, making sure that everybody's in frame, and then finally you have your overall view that you're looking at everything that's being captured through this external monitor.
And then you got something special plugged into monitor 4 right there.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah. So recently, and I was just mentioning this to Chris, we were debating whether it's a podcast or a show. I called it a podcast because essentially it's just a conversation, right? But I like to react to videos, and this is where on camera number 4, it's where my tablet is connected with a dual splitter with the projector and to this monitor. So anything that I'm watching on camera 4, let's say we go to YouTube, you can see on both, not only the projector, but on this external monitor that we can see. Oh,
we can see us live.
Let's see if we
can. Hey,
damn,
bro,
that's freaking dope.
You see how dope fucking YouTube is one to one?
Oh man, this is fucking crazy.
This is some Inception shit, my G.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. So right now we're doing this live and we're watching ourselves live. That's insane, bro. Yeah, so here, let me drop a fire, bro. Let me see if I can. I don't think I. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I don't think I can. Let's see. Oh, well, here, I'll just type fire.
Like, I got a keyboard, like, out to wait till holograms and shit come out. This guy's gonna be Tony Stark in it over here with glasses. Like, yeah. Start podcast.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what I use this for. We react to different videos, and yeah, I have everything connected. So not only can we watch it on the projector, but we also have a screen to react to if you want to look at more in depth. Yeah, so this is what we do, and I love this piece of equipment. And with all of this, is just like I started one because obviously I just wanted to document people's conversations. I come from an age and an era, I think yourself too, Chris, that before we didn't have really text messages, right? Before it was a lot of calling people, having conversations. I used to
send the text, you was getting charged per text,
right? And then you would have to wait till, I think it was,
that's back when you had to also pay for minutes too.
Yeah, but then you would have to wait till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock.
Yeah, there were time zones where it was like,
that it was free. Yeah, so I come from that time frame that we used to talk on the phone like late at night. But a lot of conversations, good conversations, have stopped because of this right here, what we have in hand. And I used to love bonfires because those are the moments that you would talk about insane type of topics, right? Aliens, looking at the stars, and same different ideas that you might have used to get captured there. But now in modern times, we have the ability to do so in podcasts and document those conversations and share them with the world.
Oh, you got me thinking now. You got to do an Oi No Más after dark by the bonfire.
I would love to. I think a conversation with you and a pod with you would be perfect.
Let's do that. Let's fucking do it. Like, gee, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I love it. I give everything a grain of salt. I give everything a chance. There's no reason we know it all.
A little ayahuasca shot.
Well, maybe we'll see. I may be convinced.
And if I don't forget anything, we'll get into the pricing. If you have anything before that, we'll get into the pricing, because as I mentioned in the very beginning, everything is super, super affordable. Aside from the studio that was pretty pricey, I think I calculated to like $20,000 just for the actual build itself.
Yeah, including this, like building this little shed.
Yeah, $20,000.
That's nothing.
You think so?
That's for the shed. This shit is legit. It's fucking. It's temperature controlled. If you close the door, we don't feel a breeze. This shit is legit.
$20,000, but we did all the labor. It took us half a year.
I get you.
It took us half a year, like hours and hours.
If you did it again, would you do anything differently, and do you think you could get it done faster?
If I could do it differently, I would make it bigger. However, I just wanted to make sure that the neighbors were okay with it. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that the neighbors were okay with it and everything. It just didn't.
Why do you need neighbors to be okay? I'm not a homeowner, so I don't. This is like over my head.
One, because you have certain limitations on the size.
Okay.
Of everything being considered a shed.
Okay.
If you go beyond that, then that's when you need permits. So I would have done it bigger because no questioning from the neighbors happened. But if you want to keep it legal, you have to keep it within certain heights and dimensions to be considered a shed.
It's a shed, right, Teddy?
Yeah,
it's a shed. Don't let them tell you anything different. There's tools in here. It's a shed. Need that dog focus.
That's my son right there.
We can get into gear, and I think it'll make us focus on some gear that you might have brushed over, like that thing right there, the Zoom P4. I love that thing. I got that thing at home on top of my road track. Like, I got that so I could travel really lightly and like.
And it does the job, bro.
Bro, it does it. It does it. And then if you wanted to put it to your computer directly through USB,
that's what I have right now.
And that's what you're doing for the live stream.
I got a new one, right? I couldn't capture the audio, and I got that. And I'm using the same one. A lot of people like the fancy little lights and all that stuff. That's fancy stuff. Like,
this shit got lights. You got 4 sound effects right there. A, B, C, and D.
That's all you need. And I think it's we'll go into the pricing, but I think it was $150.
It's cheaper now. You can find it like. And a lot of people don't look at like renewed or like used things. If you're looking into camera equipment, like go reuse. Like a lot of these camera stores, they have people there that like specifically only buy used things that they know that they can bring back to life, or they know that like, all right, this thing, you know, while it's been loved, it hasn't been loved that much. Like I love B&H. That's my go-to store. If you ever go to New York City, you want to go to tourist spots, go to B&H.
I got my cameras through there, through that website.
B&H is the shit, dog.
They have so much.
I bought a used lens for like half the price, and I was thinking that it was gonna be like, oh, janky. It was gonna be a thing. It looked like I owned it for a year, like myself. I was like, oh, this looks like it was already mine. Like, we good.
So are we good to go into pricing, or is there something else?
Like I said, I think as we go over pricing, like we'll talk about specific items, like you'll get into it. So
okay, cool. Aside from that, I just wanted to talk about, I have a couple different things. Our podcast talks a lot about like plant medicine and things like that. So this is a gift from one of my last guests here. She got me a gift with I guess ancient like decor. This one in particular, I take a lot of pride also. This came, I think, from a shaman or people that make like these type of designs in Peru. But not only that, this one in particular was gifted through Ryan Johnston. He's related to one of the most famous families on YouTube. The Ace family, and
that sounds familiar. I feel like
the Ace family, and not only that, but himself, he has well over 2 million subscribers on his own YouTube channel. He gifted me this, and he was sitting here talking about like plant medicine himself. So insane the type of conversations you have just by just creating your own space that you can just connect with people around the world. But yeah, let's and then we have Palo Santo here. We have sage for good energy. Good energy. And anything else that I might?
Most important, the Oi No Más sign. Who made this?
One of my cousins' neighbors made this out of pure wood. I think he has one of those little carving
laser
tools.
cutters.
Yeah, that was made out of wood. But
my man got freaking HVAC in his spot. Look at this. Built this shit himself.
So let me turn this. By the way, I've left the cameras on for freaking hours that I forgot to turn them off. And
was there ever a time where you weren't using dummy batteries? Or did you always use dummy batteries?
Yeah, that's a good point. First of all, I didn't even know there was such thing as dummy batteries, right? Yeah. So I was always worried about the time. But now, as you can see, everything is connected straight to the outlet. So I don't even have to worry about my cameras dying at all.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. That's something key. At times you forget because you do it so much, but there was a time and place that I didn't even know such thing existed. So all of these cameras are connected straight to the outlet.
Dope.
Yeah. So, anything else, Chris, before we dive into?
Let's get into pricing.
Okay. And I'll pull up my Amazon storefront.
Oh, we getting the legit pricing. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go to
getting totals, tax.
Yeah.
Shit, this might even help you with your taxes. You gotta look this over. See what your expenses were.
Yeah, let's go. So let's see.
Oh shit, this camera's heavy as fuck. I need to scratch my face.
Go for it, go for it. Here, let me pull this up before I had pulled it up so I can be ready. And
that clip on your hat looks like the DJI logo. But
does it?
Yeah. What is that?
It's the hat brand logo. It's I think it's called like Dandy Hats or something.
Okay, go.
No special promotion to him.
Yeah, no promo.
Yeah,
but I mean, shit, if you guys want to send some free hats,
yeah, send them my way, man. Here, let me see. But by the way, freaking the podcast has helped me tremendously overall. I highly recommend, and I just spoke about this on the last podcast. Highly recommend you recording yourself, just having a conversation with somebody if you don't ever get into podcasting, because you're going to learn so much about yourself, the way you speak, the way you deliver messages, the way you laugh, the way your face expressions. So I highly recommend anybody, if you're not, well, one, I recommend doing podcasts because it's a dope and it's an amazing content and piece of content creating. But if you don't, focus on just try it. Just try recording yourself for once at least, and you're going to learn so much about yourself.
I feel like it's also like, it could be seen as therapeutic. It can be like seen as like a form of journaling your life. The time you had a conversation with someone, the time someone's, opinion changed your world. You get me?
Exactly.
Shit like that. And if you have a product or service, you need to have a show of some sorts.
I agree.
Like there needs to be some way to funnel things into people, and like you can create a business out of this. Like there's no reason why you can't, have a certain part of your podcast where it's like a paid version of Oi No Más, where people pay you to come on your show because they know they're going to get clips and shit like that. You get me?
And I've done that. That's a great point. And I've done that. There's certain times when I don't want my podcast to be just pure business focused, but then there's some people that I'm not quite frank interested into doing their type of topics. Yeah. But if they want to come in, then I just ask for a contribution, right? Yeah. One, like you said, I'm taking care of all the editing. I'm taking care of all the content, and you're getting high quality content with good audio.
Damn high quality content. I'm not talking about cell phone footage. You're talking about bokeh. You want that color to be red? We'll make it red.
So you bring up a good point. Some people have come here to promote their own businesses, and eventually we end up having friendships at the end of the day because you connect. And it's not taking advantage of anybody. The thing is that we're providing a service at the end of the day. So even sponsorships we've gotten through something like this.
Oh shit!
So if you're ever interested on sponsoring the podcast, be my guest. We'll make sure to highlight
literally
the best.
Be my guest.
yeah. We'll make sure to highlight your best attributes, your best parts of the podcast, and we'll make sure you shine. But okay, to starters, I think. Okay, so the wall mounts. We'll start off as simple as the wall mounts. Right now, $30.56. Wall mounts. Camera, this was average about like $699.
With the lens or just the body itself?
Just the body itself. The lens, I think it was like another like $100. I think I have the lens there, so let me.
That's pretty damn budget, I would say. Shit, the rig I'm using right now probably totals at about like $6-7 grand.
Okay, so the lens, so you can just have an idea. The lens itself was about $200.
Okay.
About.
And that's damn good for a 50 mil.
Yeah.
A little nifty 50.
Yeah. Nice. So the rig, camera, $699 approximately, and then like $200 for the lens itself.
Oh, we got someone watching.
Nice. It's probably me still.
Yeah, probably. You never close the tab. Hey, I'll take the full view, my G. I'll take the full view. Give me all those watch hours. Shit. I need them, my guy.
I never close the tab. Okay, so microphones. For some reason, I'm lagging. Maybe it's because. Okay, there we go. Now, microphone. I personally think the microphone itself is very, very pretty good quality. I guess there's probably better out there, but as far as me being satisfied, I think it went up now that more and more people are doing podcasting. But right now, current price is $69.99, $70.
Okay, that's great, honestly. And it's a directional microphone. I think that's the most important part. People don't know what type of mic to get. Like I saw freaking Gary Vee doing live streams, like his employees doing live streams.
Yeah.
They had one mic on the desk in front of them, and they were both using it, just talking out loud.
Yeah.
All you heard was the room echo,
Oh,
and I'm
man.
just like,
Yeah,
dog,
that's
like,
bad.
just get a freaking directional mic.
Yeah,
and now I'm noticing something.
Yeah, go
these
for
are
it.
USB mics.
Yeah.
You don't need to run the Zoom USB-C wire all the way to your computer. You could just connect that USB. That's an older USB port though, but you can connect that USB port straight to your laptop and get the feed just from the mic itself.
Oh, okay.
And then that headphone right there.
Yeah.
That allows you to monitor the headphone right there.
Okay, there you go. And for $69.99,
Yeah.
and you can have quality audio, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the boom arts,
The boom.
the boom arms,
Yeah.
I got those for $55.99.
That's nice.
$55.99. So you don't need anything fancy. Let's go to the.
And it runs the wire through it to keep it nice and clean. Gets to this desk. Can I ask?
Go
like
for it.
sometimes, like you have to be careful. Like, is that table there weighted down? Because I know, like sometimes boom, like, well, no, the mic is pretty light.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super
sometimes,
light.
like when my shit's like with the Rode. I have the Rode. Pod mics, they're fucking heavy, dog. And if the table's not strong enough, like it'll send that table flying.
So that's happened too. So I tell them just to hold on to the boom and just move it, because if not, the table will move. And
when you have people do the pod, like you often require them to have the monitor headphones, right?
Yeah. Why? Because so this is a key thing, right? The reason why I love having headphones, one, it's gonna put you in a place of podcasting. It's almost like you're tapping into another dimension of just podcasting. When you dive into a conversation, you can hear yourself, you hear the person you're communicating with. So I highly recommend headphones. And at the same time, if you're a content creator, if you're editing this podcast, it's going to help you. Why? Because the guests will realize that they're pulling away from the mic, and so they'll get back to the mic because they're hearing themselves. So essentially, they're monitoring themselves.
Yep.
So I highly
They also
recommend.
hear sometimes if they're like fiddling with the mic and they're like touching something.
Exactly.
But, oh, shit, wait a minute, that's me making that noise.
So not only does it like get you into this space of just diving into this conversation, into this podcast world, but it also helps you monitor, and your guests will also realize if they're pulling away from the mic or not. So highly recommend headphones. And did I say how much the headphones were?
No, you did not. You said the boom arms were 50.
Yeah.
The headphones, I think I have the same ones, Audio Technica.
Yeah, those are very popular now. So the headphones, they're $49 right now. I think that all of this used to be cheaper, but with podcasting and everything else has gone up. So now,
I mean, just keep an eye out for your sales. You get me? Also, check out used products and things like that. You might be able to get a steal. And also, I mean, you don't have to get those headphones. Any headphones work. You get me?
That's a good point. Before, and that just because I wanted that look and feel, but you can literally have your headphones, $20 headphones to monitor.
You can even ask guests to bring what headphones they feel comfortable with, type of shit.
Right, we've done that. We've done all of that. We used to have
but you got to throw that Oi No Más sticker on there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The lights, the Gobi lights.
Okay.
Just in case you're interested in the Gobi lights.
When I first came here, you didn't have those, and I think we did our podcast, and I used my aperture minis.
Yeah.
But those are so clutch. I fucking love those things.
Yeah, so those things are controlled by my phone. Everything is here controlled with my phone, and those are $89.99. Now, where all the audio gets captured with an SD card here separately, it's the Zoom PodTrack P4, and that runs for $149.99.
But you also got the Bluetooth, the extension there, right?
Yeah, so the reason why I have
What's
the
that do?
Bluetooth is whenever I've had remote calls, I can literally have them call in through a FaceTime or through a WhatsApp call, and it picks up the audio from like a Bluetooth, just like if you were talking to somebody over your phone, but everything is being captured to the best quality possible through the Zoom PodTrack, and then it creates its own audio track. So when we edit it, we have the ability to bump up the audio or bring it down. So I highly recommend the Zoom PodTrack. You don't need any of the other fancy Zoom what are they called? The Rode Podcaster
Yeah,
Pro.
you don't need any of that.
You
Honestly,
don't need any of that.
That one's a great starter. I think they may or may not be coming out to a successor to this one, which that also means that this one's going to be dropping in price. So
Yeah, yeah. And then also something that you're gonna need if you're into conspiracies is this.
He comes out. Oh, that's fucking sick. Why didn't you put it on the cow?
Yeah.
That is sick.
So there you go.
He's strapped up too. He got the AKs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. And then like we mentioned earlier, one of the key things that I got put into game, it was the ATEM Mini Pro ISO, which all my cameras are connected to. That itself, it just made so much easier, and it was an investment to save up on time.
Wires back there. Okay, question about the ATEM.
Yep.
I found when I do my stuff via HDMI, I had to invest in like quality HDMI cords, but it was also because I was like setting up and tearing down. Have you run into any problems with your HDMI? Because me, I would buy these like cheaper ones on Amazon, like especially because it's HDMI mini to regular HDMI.
So the HDMI cords to my cameras? No, I got the most affordable ones and no issues at all.
Because it's locked in place.
Probably. Yeah, and that wasn't an investment. I second guessed it, but I gave it a shot and it worked. And
how long are they? They're about like 15, 25 feet each, and they just run up?
I think it's like 20 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's enough to like wrap around the room, get to each of the cameras through here.
Yep.
Do you have them like stapled onto the walls? What
Yeah, against the floor. I have everything wired against the floor. You can kind of see where the cords go on the bottom.
I see.
And that was a big investment, but keep in mind that was taking me hours, if not even days, to edit, and that like eliminated all of that within like an hour for me to actually have a podcast and a show produced within an hour.
Yeah.
And that cost me $495. Yep. And then this I invested.
Wait, so the ATEM was $495. Is that still that price? That's kind of high for $495. It's doing everything it needs to do.
Yeah.
The tool that I use, the Deck Link, it's about like $750 for the chip, brand new, and then you need to get a housing for the chip, which is like another $750.
Gotcha.
So, but I got my shit used on B&H for like $400.
Yeah.
I got my housing unit used on B&H for like $300.
Yeah. Yeah. So $495. It just the only reason why I got that one is because you're able to record externally to external hard drive. And then I got this. This is I guess you can call it a refurbished or renewed
Samsung tablet.
Yeah, I think that cost me like $350 or $400.
He's like, what about me? What I'm priceless, right?
Oh yeah, he's priceless. This was like $20 or something.
Okay, just a little Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah, Bluetooth keyboard.
Okay. Do you charge those things frequently or like?
This I have to keep charged because like since it's connected to the
how are you getting the HDMI feed out of that, by the way?
So
just
HDMI,
through USB-C?
Yeah, USB-C connects to the splitter.
Okay.
Which connects to the external monitor.
Okay.
And yeah.
Does your splitter require extra power, or is it just doing it all by itself through the USB-C?
By itself, since everything is plugged in. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that covers about everything as far as the
lights.
podcast
We need
goes.
lights. We need lights. The projector.
Yeah, the lights. Yeah.
So why ring lights? Why not soft boxes?
Because it's more. I feel like the soft boxes were more pricey from what I saw. These I don't have the price in there, but I think they cost me like $100 or approximately like $100, and I think all the soft boxes that I was looking at, they were more pricey. Unless maybe I just couldn't find the right ones that were affordable.
There's definitely out there, but I feel you. I feel like lights have been going through a revolution where like they're getting smaller.
Yeah.
They're like the units themselves are like they're literally the size of cell phones, but like they can pump out basically the sun worth of energy type of deal.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lately from a podcast setup, what they've been doing is they've been doing one single light on the ceiling, like in between. Let me zoom out.
Yeah.
They do one single light on the ceiling in between the thing, and what they do is it's called like a bulb softbox. So most softboxes, they look like an umbrella.
Yeah.
This one looks like a giant light bulb, and basically it just throws soft light on everything.
Yeah.
So it'll throw soft light on there, where you don't have to have the direct, like light.
I think Joanna's there. What's up, Joanna? I don't know if you're still there, but what's up?
Oh, there's two people watching now.
I don't know can you tell who's watching or not?
Let me see. So if we click here, that was you, Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't tell who's watching, but there's two people actively right now. This is a little inception, a little behind the scenes, me and my little setup there. I'm trying to stay as far out the way and enjoy the studio tour.
So shout out to Joanna. She's been a great, I met her here through the podcast.
Okay.
And now we became friends.
Oh, shit.
What else? And then I guess, do you want to move on to the...
Yeah, let's get into live streaming.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you bought a second Zoom contract. I thought you ran that USB all the way over
that's
there,
what I'm
my
saying,
guy.
bro. Like,
he got them times too.
Bro, I'm telling you, I strongly believe with everything that I'm saying, I strongly believe it. You don't need anything fancy.
Yeah.
I got the exact same one. If not, everything else was going to cost me like twice as much.
Yeah.
But you guys can thank all of this little setup I have going on, which this just happened about a week ago, right? That you told me, you kind of showed me everything, which we had talked about going live. I was kind of disregarding it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, my mind is just running that I want to create my own setup. And as soon as we just met last week, now I'm like, oh man, my ideas are just endless of what I want to create.
This guy's going to become an eCam user very soon. That's what I'm doing right now.
I'm going to remove that logo. I think I only have 7 days left, so I have 7 days to get the actual official one.
Dope.
But now pretty much I'm applying everything that we just talked about, the same equipment that we just mentioned, the same arm, same headphones, same Zoom pod track, everything that I currently had for the podcast itself, I'm applying it to live streaming now.
Oh shit!
Yeah, with exception of the Stream Deck, which was thanks to you, Chris, that you told me that I should be getting it.
This thing is clutch. That thing, it'll run a show for you. But I think what I love most about your space is that it is pretty much set and forget. Like, how long do you think it takes for, like, if someone's doing a podcast with you, how long does it take you to get set up?
Maybe like 5 minutes. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. The only manual thing you're doing is adjusting their camera, right?
This camera.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's all I do. I just adjust that camera, and if in case the guest is a little nervous, we'll take a couple of shots, and other than that, I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah, you're right. We forgot about the mini fridge, my guy. He's got a mini fridge here. Yeah. He's out here making people feel comfortable.
Yeah, so I think this is why I wanted a dedicated space, and this is another thing that I recommend to people that want to create content, is to have a dedicated space. Doesn't have to be a full-on studio in your backyard. Just have a space that you can go get in tune and create content if that's your goal.
Make it easy for yourself.
Yeah, make it easy for yourself. Maybe if it's in your kitchen, have a ring light already set up. Have everything that you like. Maybe something in the background, the little candle, always in the same location how you like it. But always have it in place there that you can just easily sit down, put your camera or your phone and be ready to go.
Exactly.
Make it easier for yourself.
Because when you setting up shit, that leaves you time to get in your head, and then by the time you set up, you're an hour deep, and you're like, damn, I didn't even feel like, now I gotta go take a shower, fucking sweaty. By the time you get out the shower, the sun's down, you forgot you were going to talk about, and then you're like, you know what, I'll do it tomorrow.
Bro, and
then you turn everything down.
And honestly, I praise the podcast, and I praise this type of content, because this content has made me almost feel free of myself. At times I record here in sweatpants, I have a hoodie, it took me forever for me to take off my hat, which if Joanna is still watching, thanks to Joanna, I was able to finally take off my hat because that was one of my biggest insecurities. And I have other guests that they don't want to take it off.
Yeah.
Bro, this type of content has given me the ability to just be me.
Yeah.
Just to talk about anything I want, whoever watches or not watches, fine. But I'm accepting myself for who I am.
Yeah.
And that is why I truly love this type of platform, bro. Because I don't care, bro. At times, if I make mistakes, if I look fucking crusty, if it is what it is, it's given me the freedom just to be me.
Oh, shit.
And I think that's priceless.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh shit, man. Well, I didn't want to say anything after that, man. G. All right, anything else you want to touch on? Any last minute things?
I think the last thing, the last thing I want to say, which is probably one of the last items I got, is this piece of artwork that I got. It's from my favorite movie, A Bronx Tale. And not sure if you're able to read it, but it says the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And I strongly agree with this, that so many people want to do things in life and have so many great ideas, but they just never take action. And the possibilities for you accomplishing and creating amazing things in life are endless, but you will never know unless you would have tried. And I've always spread this message that I don't care if I fail, but me knowing that I give it my all, I'm going to be happy with that. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's all I have.
Oh shit, man. Well, thank you so much for letting me into your space. Thank you for giving me the tour. You guys got the totals. I want to start seeing podcasts out there. Don't follow everything exact. Throw your own spin on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Thank you for being vulnerable and showing us everything, man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. This is my dream little setup to have podcast here with the guest. Now, my goal is by the end of the week to live stream, and this is my dream setup for now. Eventually I have other goals in mind if I ever pop off.
Yeah.
But for now, this is my dream setup that you can create and go live across the world.
When he pops off, ain't shit renewed. Everything new.
Yeah. So,
man.
We got it, man. Chris, before you turn the camera to you, I just wanted to say thank you, bro. You honestly, you're a great person, bro. You're a freaking wizard at everything you do, bro. And like I've always told you, bro, I want you to feel free about what I just said right now, to be free within yourself and just create, bro, no matter what. Like, just keep going. And no matter if you have one person, two people watching, I've also said this in the past, the power of one. If it's only one or two people watching, be prideful that those people took the time to watch, and because that means a lot.
Yeah.
Time is freaking valuable. So do that, and I think that's it. And I just want to thank you for just being humble and teaching and not, holding any of your knowledge to yourself, because you've always been like super helpful. So thank you, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I mean, I may need to, tap in with some people that you've interviewed before. If you guys got a setup that you want to walk through, show me how unique your setup is, I'm down to show up live. We'll do it live vlog style, MTV Crib style. But yeah, I'm gonna go over here and trigger this outro, and I will see you all in another one.
Yes, sir.